We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are conducting life-changing research that solves the problems of today. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Welcome to the POMcast with Stephen Willis. Now we're going to do things a little different. We are going to provide an honest look at Ole Miss athletics for the fan, by the fan, and of the fan. That is what we do. Hell be to me. I'm just kidding. Tune in for some Ole Miss sports news. We're going to give it to you straight. Yeah, right now. The POMcast starts now. It happens now. Holy cow. Listen to me. It's starting. Well, it's going to start right about now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to this Friday morning edition of the POMcast. I am your host, of course, Stephen Willis. Thank you very much for joining me on this magical mystery tour we call Ole Miss Fandom. Basically, today there's not a lot to get into when you look at this show. We're going to talk a little bit about where the show wants to go. You like that? And how we want to get there. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. We've talked 3 days about media days. Once media day starts next week, there's going to be plenty to talk about, plenty of storylines. As you can see, I have opened up the chat today, and I do want to tell you about Travel and Cruise World. That's 1-800-330-7461. That's Travel and Cruise World, 1-800-330-7461. And the reason we are doing this is to, whenever you vacation to Central Florida, whenever you do Disney, whenever you go to the beach, whenever you do all the things that are around here, this is a person that can provide a local perspective of what's actually going on. So you're not going to spend a ton of money waiting to do something. If you're vacationing right now and you spend a ton of money and all you really wanted to do was the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, these guys would let you know it's closed. So that's one cool thing about this. It's Travel and Cruise World, 1-800-330-7461. Also, in an effort to show that there's no competition here, I do want to promote Beer Showers, Bat Flips, and Backwards K's. That is the latest podcast from Chad Smith. You might recognize him from doing some of the previews earlier this year. That podcast is about 30 minutes long. Good stuff. It's weekly, and they're planning on doing it 52 weeks out of the year. They're going to have interviews from Rebel greats. They're going to talk about what's going on. The latest episode is all about the Major League Baseball draft and how the Rebs fared, and looking at social media and how that affected things. So check out Beer Showers, Backflips, and Backwards K's on your local podcatcher. You can catch it on Podbean. You can catch it on Spotify. It's out there, so just give that a search. Speaking of everything, you can catch us at Twitter at the Stephen Willis or at the Rebel Walk. You can catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast, POMcast. Follow, like, do us a favor there. You can also catch us on the Rebel Walk at facebook.com/the Rebel Walk. We're on YouTube at Positively Ole Miss. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're up to 88 subscribers now. Thank you very much. We should get to 100 fairly soon. If not before football season, shortly thereafter. And we're on Twitch at Positively Ole Miss. Those are the video options for our shows. We have a couple of catch-alls at Willis Digital Media. Those are ours too. But we just wanted a place where all the videos could live, so they're going to them as well. If audio is more of your thing, and it really is, we are at the second most listened to month on the podcast. We're not even promoting the podcast. It's crazy. The second most listened to month in 15 days in July already. And we're about to break the record again. So that's a really cool thing. So you can catch us at Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Let me move that out of the way because, as you can see, I use a green screen. So we opened up the chat for today. Billy Williams is coming from Red Bay, Alabama, listening to the show. If you have any questions, you want to bring anything up, you can put it in the comments below the live stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, the live stream chat, you can just put it in there and it'll put it in here. Facebook comments, same thing. Twitter, you actually need to go into the actual stream of Twitter. It's not just reply to Twitter, but it'll post it as well. And we're on Twitch. That's pretty much open all the time. So if you just want to go into Twitch and copy it and type in there, it's going to show up on the chat. So it's a pretty cool feature that we have added. We're working on adding a telephone line to have a call-in show eventually during the football season. That would probably be like a Saturday night post-game thing, call-in show to where you can talk about what you saw, what impressed you, what upset you, what did all kinds of things. That'll be available. But that leads us in perfectly to what we're planning on doing and how we want to get there. That's what we named the podcast today. There's not a lot of going on in Ole Miss sports. We understand that. But what we want to be is unique. Let me tell you the schedule that we have planned for you guys this season. Let's see. I think that's on Facebook. Whenever we bring that up, I'll let you know. It's pretty jam packed, honestly, and it's kind of a cool thing. But it's on the Positively Ole Miss page if you guys want to look at it. It's just a write up of the schedule. But the way it's going to go, we're going to start with Mondays. In the morning, we're going to do Rebel Walk QB Talk with David Walker, an actual SEC quarterback, well, Southwestern Conference quarterback. But I guess he would be I really don't understand what past quarterbacks and future quarterbacks. Was he not an SEC quarterback? Is he an SEC quarterback? Is he a Southwest Conference quarterback but not an SEC quarterback? Either way, he was a Texas A&M quarterback back in the day. And he's going to talk about QB play and everything going on, looking at the game, and at what Matt Corral and the other quarterbacks have done. In the mid-morning, you're going to have the POMcast. That's what we're going to do. The Monday night show will be the Beast of the East with Craig Ladd and Corey Burton, where they're going to talk all about the SEC Eastern Division. There's lots of storylines that's going to develop off the weekend games, and they're going to go break it down because there's 7 games basically they have to get to each week. Well, less whenever they're playing each other. But at the beginning, a maximum of 7 games. But it should be pretty interesting. Tuesday, mid-morning, we're going to have the POMcast. That night, we're going to have the Best of the West. The Best of the West podcast with... just a second, I hit a button real quick. And lost myself. Sorry. Lost my train of thought a bit. With Kevin Bohannon and Jake Thomas. Kevin Bohannon works on the Hog Talk. He's an Arkansas guy. And Jake Thomas works on the Tide Talk podcast. You can see them down at the bottom of the YouTube page. We linked to them. And they're going to talk about SEC football in the Western Division on Tuesday night. Wednesday. Need to bring this back up. Man, I'm just struggling today. Wednesday, mid-morning POMcast, as usual, every weekday. That night will be SEC After Dark with me, Corey Burton, and eventually Jeb Beecham. Jeb has not popped up on our show recently because he's in the process of moving down to have his own palatial Central Florida studios. So as soon as that gets done, he should be done sometime in mid-August, late August. We'll bring him on the show, get him acclimated. Thursday mid-mornings, POMcast. Thursday nights, the Rebel Walk recruiting show with Leanne Herring. We're going to talk about all the recruiting information for the day and what you can expect for the weekend and how things are going. So that should be really cool. Friday, mid-morning POMcast, Friday afternoon, the Rebel Walk game preview with Evelyn Van Pelt. We're going to do that. Just a little 10-15 minute video to get you guys primed and ready to go for the game. And Saturdays after the game, Rebel Walk instant reaction. We don't know exactly who yet, but it's going to happen. And no schedule. We'll be doing news blast, and our commit spotlights will go up. Our transfer portal spotlights will go up, and we're going to be doing baseball and basketball stuff as extra content items while football season's going on. So you look at that and you say, my goodness, Steve, you have a ton of time. And apparently that is the case. I do have a ton of time. But we want to do that. And we preach the no competition mantra that we do. We're willing to be friends with dang near anybody. And this afternoon, for instance, we're doing a LSU preview with the One Team Media guys from LSU. And there's a chance that news will break about this podcast with the One Team guys eventually thereafter. But we'll see how that goes. But the idea is to expand this network, this marketplace of ideas around Ole Miss football, to ensure there's no real one way to do a situation and we can all just have a conversation and talk about what's going on without being dug in on one issue, without being completely dug in. This is a way to change the mindset of Ole Miss football and potentially other guys as well. But as you can see, our network is developing. Look at our previews on our YouTube page. You can see the networks developing. Inside of Ole Miss, we have a great partnership with the Rebel Walk. Evelyn and her team do a fantastic job. But we're going to grow it, expand it. And we're going to do that through our triumvirate of SEC shows. That's how we're going to do that. Those shows provide an audience that, strictly Ole Miss shows would not have. So we're hoping that they will kind of take off and allow us to do certain things. We're going to use that network, hopefully, for SEC After Dark, Beast of the East, Best of the West, all those things, this network that we're building. And on top of the Believe network, that's one that we're doing right now with most of our hosts are also hosts in the Believe network. So we're trying to find lots of people to come on the show and provide lots of perspectives for you guys. So after the bubble of information being so small for so long, we can widen that out a little bit. You can trust what's being said because it's going to be said from several people at the same time. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to it. But that's how we want to get to where we're going. And eventually, we will. It's going to break through. Our motto basically right now is do more than they have time to do. And if you do that, they can never catch you because you're just doing more work than they're doing. They have to be hyper efficient with every aspect that they're doing. And, there's certain innate advantages that I have. But I started back in February getting 30 views per video to last month getting over 50,000 views for the month. And that was just over baseball season. No football season even got hit. So we're going to grow this. As you can see, the number of shows that we have planned, it should be quite fun for everybody involved. But we have it set up right now to where these people writing the stories, it's 10, 15 minutes of their time. They can do a show. Everything is hyper efficiently done. Everything is pre-built. Everything is pre-leveraged. This is all stuff that I've worked on way back in the day, February, March, April, and then just took it to the next level. And it should be a lot of fun. I'm just really looking forward to this journey. But yeah, it's just going to be great because I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this. And this is the technology finally caught up with what I want it to do. So we are going to expand probably fairly quickly. And, just taking in partners and doing all that we're doing. So it should be a lot of fun. So we're going to take a short break. And by short break, I mean 2 minutes. And after 2 minutes, we are going to come back and talk and really just kind of look at media days and what we're expecting and things like that. And then we're going to give you a little bit of time back because I have to take my wife to a job interview. So wifey's going to a job interview today. So that should be a lot of fun. So stick around. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the POMcast. It's Friday morning. I'm going to let you guys out a little bit earlier today because, like I said, I have to take my wife to a job interview. But before we go, I do want to tell you about the rebelwalk.com. Evelyn and her team do a fantastic job. They provide a subscriber level experience, except it's for free. Doesn't cost you anything but time, and boy, oh boy, is it worth it. There's experts for every major sport. There are always contents floating about, and now they're getting into the recruiting game as well, where they've been grifting money off of you forever, taking this seemingly little amount of money away, but now it's going to be available for free. So I'm looking forward to that. That is the rebelwalk.com. Again, that is the rebelwalk.com, providing all the needs that you have. Tell them I sent you as well. All right, so we've done all the ad work today. So I'm excited about media days, and this is what I'm really excited for, is the notion, the feeling that college football is right around the corner. Now, I realize there's a couple of weeks after media days before practice actually starts and everything's going. But media days are the time that feeling hits, that feeling of fandom just absolutely hits. And it's a fun thing. It used to be growing up that as soon as I could get the Athlon's or Lindy's magazine back in June, okay, you're trying to just grasp for football getting closer, and then media day hits. That bridges the gap right there between that and the start of camp is the start of media days. because there's a feeling, since they're doing official functions for their team, there's a feeling that it's here, it's happening. And it's going to do, they're going to come down and do all their promotional stuff. I think it's like a 4-hour period to where they not only do all the talking to the press, but they also do all the production work with the broadcasting companies. That'd be CBS and Disney. And I say Disney because that's going to be SEC Network, ESPN, ABC, the whole 9 yards. This is the first year, by the way, and everybody needs to make plans for this. This is the first year that one of the games is going to show up on ESPN Plus. Now, whenever they announced it, it was ESPN Plus and SEC Plus. But, in any situation like this, count on the right answer being the one that makes them the most money. And to get you as a ESPN Plus subscriber would be a boon for them if they're not doing it. So I would plan on one game every year, because that's part of this TV contract, on ESPN Plus, which is a subscriber service. It's essentially pay-per-view, but it costs like $4 or $5 a month. If you're not into it, you can just sign up. You can drop it the month after that. It doesn't cost much money, but the contract that allows each school to make a massive amount of money. I don't think you guys understand how much money the school is going to be able to make from this. Like, them signing up with this ABC contract took them from $38-40 million to like nearly 60 per school. So they're going to put games on ESPN Plus. It's likely going to be the 1AA games, like the Austin P game this season, but they will show up on ESPN Plus, and you will start to see that from time to time. And I think that SEC Plus will be a thing, but it will be less of a thing because of ESPN Plus. I think they're going to push you to subscribe to that service, and I would expect them to do that. SEC Media Days being here is going to grow. You're going to start seeing lists like who are the projected winners of the SEC title, who are the projected preseason player of the year. I mean, all that stuff, all this stuff that we talked about for 2 months going through this list season will finally come to a head, and we'll be able to start focusing on fall camp and exactly what needs to be done. I think we're planning on next week to get with Evie Van Pelt, and she's going to be at Media Days, so that'd be sometime Tuesday evening. We're planning on going live from there if they have the bandwidth for it, and we're going to start building what we need to build. But next week will be the debut of Best of the West. Already last week was the debut of Beast of the East. The week before that was the debut of SEC After Dark. So you can see that we are building this up. Today, I'm recording an interview with the One Team guys down at LSU. They've already given me on Twitter a go to hell Ole Miss, and I appreciate that. But those guys will come in and preview the Bayou Bengals. That'll go up sometime first thing in the morning probably, or late tonight, depending on if the Rebel Walk recruiting show happens. If it doesn't happen tonight, if something comes up, I would expect to see the LSU preview tonight. If not, it'll be available in the morning. So be ready for that. And I'm just really excited. Like I said, I've got to take my wife down to do a job interview, so I need a couple of minutes to get all this uploaded. But thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And, of course, hotty toddy.